What the world is going to be like in the year 2040? And in just 20 years from now, what are we going to expect the changes in global fundamentals as well as replan on your investment portfolio? Today's video, we're going to talk about prediction 2040. If you don't watch this video for yourself, watch this video for your children. Stay tuned, watch through the whole video, and I'll be right back. In this part, we're going to talk about prediction on few countries. They are Africa, China, Europe, US, and Middle East. Then later, we shall discuss which commodity and industries are worth investing in them for the next 2 decades. First of all, let's take a look at Africa and the surging population, which we believe it will be improved with better education and language communication with the West through using English. Currently, the Chinese participation in African continent has deployed massive commodity development, and Mandarin is also getting popular in African countries. Africa comprises 54 country nations with 1.3 billion population. As of now, 60% of the population in Africa is at 25 years old or younger. Indeed, this is a very young populated country. Since 2010 and in the past decade, China has increased its investment tremendously to more than $30 billion in total FDI, or we call the foreign direct investment, over African countries in quest for raw materials such as oil, earth minerals to food processing stuff. China has surpassed US, France, and UK in foreign direct investment into Africa, despite most African nations still speak French as their national language. Africa, in our opinion, could become the largest developer for clean energy such as solar and wind energy producers. China is now still holding the biggest retail market and will become the biggest creditor to most developing economies for the ongoing development of Belt Road Initiative infrastructure and facilities building. China could be very well progressive in its 5,000-year based culture, including music, art, calligraphy, numismatic hobbies, artifacts, and architectural design. These will branch into deeper development in entertainment industries like music and movie show-based industries, or using artificial intelligence technology. Spearheading the 5G technology in the world, we foresee that China will own and develop more technology-based businesses through using satellite connectivity and businesses that are based on artificial intelligence communication. European countries will be deepening into sovereign debts as progressive large funds will slowly migrate to Asia due to the difference of interest yields over the next 2 decades. This can only be reversed if European currencies could increase its monetary interest into positive zone, or at least putting on par with Asian countries. Due to the overwhelming spread of artificial intelligence technology and extensive development in blockchain technology in most parts of the world, we also foresee that Europe will lose its cutting-edge and preferred jurisdiction in banking, investment, and financial industry. Hence, Europe will reverse back gradually into development of ancient art and maintaining the cornerstone technology like architect design, winery and distillery skills, fashion design and prototype development, and origination of intellectual property, technology development, tourism, and scientific innovations. Next, we shall come to the US. US will remain as the top 3 economies in the world due to the continuous scientific innovations and new branding products to be created. However, US will lose its competitiveness in business due to the disparity of wealth and poverty among the Americans. In addition, US will lose its huge revenue as the largest shale oil producer and exporter in the world, as the demand for crude will fall tremendously over coming decades. US may be facing a shortage of energy since no one will work on the oil field anymore due to the cheap source of clean energy as the main competition. To keep up as the modern country with advanced technology, US will strive to invent and sell more high-tech, advanced military equipment in order to create higher revenue. Moreover, the ambition to conquer the outer space program and in quest for survival on a new planet or even on the moon will propel US to be more progressive and more advanced in its NASA technology. Now we come to the Middle East and Gulf countries. We feel that this region, the countries will face tough challenges in creating revenues because we foresee that no one will need much oil and gas in the year 2040, or very minimal demand for such dirty energy by commercial aircrafts and shipping freights. By then, we also foresee that most transport of cargoes and tourism will be carried out in high-speed rail systems that are mostly non-oil driven. As Middle East regions are covered by extreme climate, there could be a revolution of changes in many businesses while being switched to greenhouse agriculture or aquaculture farming along the coastal lines. Otherwise, new scientific innovations will be needed to sustain the economy for collecting royalties and fee through the transfer of technologies once the demand for oil slowly fades away gradually over the coming years. Among the European countries, UK government has planned to ban the sale of new cars that are powered by conventional internal combustion engines by the year 2040. France has planned to phase out internal combustion vehicles in the city by the year 2030 and to help cut air pollution. According to the International Energy Agency, electric vehicles currently make up more than just 2% of global car sales, and this number is expected to increase to 55% by 2040. So, we could easily base on this data and foresee that the demand for crude oil and dirty energy would tremendously drop over the next 1 to 2 decades. With the fall in energy demand, we will see a rise in clean energy, or we call it the renewable energy, in replacement of dirty energy like coal, crude oil, and natural gas. Focusing on the development of clean energy like solar, water, and wind-based energy through all the newly innovative companies will be a good choice. Manufacturers and builders for such hardware might be going for a new transformation over the future years. That's when we talk about how to create such amount of energy by using a shorter time span through some kind of newly advanced solar panels, wind farm equipment, or the energy producing water generating machines. To keep the world clean and protected from environmental damages, waste management and invention of anything that is biodegradable while replacing plastics or resin materials will gradually become the limelight of the world. These will eventually become the items used as part of our daily lives in order to reduce the carbon emission and ozone protection. Now, what are the most precious commodity and essential commodity in the year 2040? Food, especially grains. Well, according to the Department of Economics and Social Affairs of the United Nations, the world will have 9 billion global population in 2040, and we may probably face shortage of food. That's when Africa has plenty of land for cultivation and they will make humongous wealth from exporting grain food. Due to the health reason and protection of carbon emission, more people will convert to vegans or vegetarians. In 20 years' time, we expect the pharmaceutical industries will be more extensive and creating more innovative medicine on life science products. However, mankind will face more species of viruses and diseases. Our daily nutrition will become very cautious and selective in vegetarian food. Therefore, food technology will be more enhanced and advanced by manufacturing progressively turning into vegan meat using phytoproteins. Thank you for staying back, and I'm going to give you a short summary on what we just discussed today. Well, going into the next 2 decades until 2040, we are going to see more and more things going by electric, as we call go green. And all these electrical vehicles, electric machines, or whatever you have it, is going to be driven by renewable energy. So, focus on all those industries with all these new innovations, which is going to be driven by renewable energy. Remember that. Number 2, anything that is working on 5G connectivity and 5G technology together with artificial intelligence, these are the companies that will greatly improve and enhance the lifestyle of mankind. And these are also the second type of investment that you should be putting into your portfolio. Right, number 3. Remember I mentioned about the importance of food. All right. Moving to 2040, as the world population is growing, we are likely going to face a food shortage. Well, of course, when we talk about very big food producers, and we are not just talking about Nestle or talking about product distributors like ENG. Well, we are also talking about plantation grower, the upstream player in the food chain. All right, pay attention to all these companies. And another very important thing is any company with a modern food technology, especially those companies that can invent and create vegan meat. That's very important, and you should be paying attention. All right, give me an example. Go and find out, okay, and do a Google search on this company called Beyond Meat Incorporated. All right, I do not like to recommend any stocks, but take a look at this company, and the symbol is BYND. Well, they have a very good modern technology on creating vegan meat, because what we are looking forward in the next 2 decades, all right, we won't be surprised that half of the world population might convert into vegetarian in the next few decades. The reason is very simple. Number 1, as we mentioned, shortage of food, and number 2, because of the widespread disease by consuming meat. So any company, all right, and we feel that there will be more company that will be coming up with all these new patent technology of manufacturing vegan food will be very much welcome. So you should be paying attention to that. Now, number 4, we just mentioned earlier, water. Water resources is so important, and due to land scarcity on Earth, all right, any countries or any region that can create a water catchment area will be able to store a lot of water resources. And we foresee that the desalination technology on seawater is going to be more and more costly. Hence, we won't be surprised to see water sales from one country to another country in years to come. So, water technology or water resources is also another important investment that we should be looking in coming years. Now, the last 2 things that I'm going to cover on this, they are very interesting. All right, it is about digital banking and blockchain technology. Well, as we look across now over the world, we could see that the future of money management will lie in digital banking system, e-wallet facilities, and we are talking about this financial gateway, which is going to be based on blockchain technology. Hence, this is another region that I think we should be looking at it and pay more attention on our future investment. Finally, we are talking about cryptos like Bitcoin. Alright, honestly speaking, we do not know if there's going to be another new protocol crypto that will replace Bitcoin or not. Well, that's not important. But the thing is, we do foresee that the value of Bitcoin will begin to increase gradually and progressively over the next 10, 20, or 30 or 40 years. So, there's no harm at these current prices of Bitcoin. I think anyone else or anybody should start to keep some Bitcoin for some small investment in your portfolio at your own affordability. Alright? Start to buy Bitcoin perhaps every month, every quarter at some small money if you can, and definitely over long term, Bitcoin will pay you back in good value. Right. So this is the podcast that today we are talking about prediction 2040, and I believe all of you might have collected a lot of tips, and there are some points that we just mentioned that we hope they can help you. Stay tuned with us and don't forget to like us and be our subscriber. This is the DW World, and we welcome you to stay back, we welcome you to come back, and always come back to us, and we shall see you again. Bye bye.